If P comma Q comma R denote respectively the grades, the degrees and the radians of the same angle, then prove that P by 10 equal to Q by 9 equal to 20R by pi, and P minus Q is equal to 20R by pi. Now, for the same angle, P is grades and Q is in degrees and R is in radians. When G stands for grades, D stands for degrees, and C stands for radians, then G by 200 is equal to D by 180 is equal to C by pi. This is the standard relation which we know. Now this G is given as P by 200, and D is given as Q by 180, and this is R by pi. If we multiply by 20, when we multiply this by 20, this becomes P by 10, and this becomes Q by 9, and this becomes 20R by pi. This is the first result which we are asked to prove. So therefore P comma Q comma R represent the grades, the degrees and the radians of the same angle, but the standard G for grades, D for degrees and C for radians, then the relation between them is G by 200 is equal to D by 180 is equal to C by pi. That is P by 200 equal to Q by 180 equal to R by pi. If we multiply by 20, so this is P by 10, this is Q by 9 equal to 20R by pi. That is the first result. And in the second result, we have to find P minus Q. From this relation, P is equal to 200R by pi, and Q is equal to 180R by pi. Now P minus Q is equal to 200R by pi minus 180R by pi is equal to 20R by pi. This is the required answer. Trigonometric ratios. Of acute angles. Trigonometric ratios of acute angles. This is the first chapter in trigonometry, a very important one. Carefully you have to observe and remember the things very well, because trigonometry is useful everywhere in mathematics, and also it will play a key role in physics and in all other subjects also. So therefore, you have to be 100% perfect in trigonometry in your educational period. Now, first of all, let us know what are the ratios of a trigonometric. First of all, let us know about a trigonometrical ratio. What is a trigonometrical ratio? When this is a vertical line and this is a horizontal line, we know that this is a right angle. Now, complete the right angle triangle like this. So, ABC is a right angle triangle. The right angle is at B. The side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse. So the side opposite to the right angle in a right angle triangle is called a hypotenuse. And now, the ratio between any two sides of a right angle triangle is called a trigonometrical ratio. The ratio between any two sides of a right angled triangle is called a trigonometrical ratio. So the ratio between any two sides of a right angle triangle is called trigonometrical ratio. So if this is a right angle triangle, the angle opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse, and we know that the sum of all the three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So this is 90. So angle A plus angle C is 90 degrees, but it doesn't mean that it should be 45 and this also should be 45. The sum is 90, means 45, 45, 60, 30, 70, 20, 10 and 80, like this. So therefore, sum of these two angles is 90. When the sum of these two angles is 90, each of these two angles, either A or C, is an acute angle. Suppose if we take this acute angle as a theta. Previously we have mentioned that the side opposite to the right angle of a right angle triangle is hypotenuse. Now after taking one of these two angles, acute angles, and specifically when this is theta, this is called opposite side. So what is opposite side actually? This is the side opposite to the selected acute angle of a right angle triangle. So therefore, the side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse, and the side opposite to the selected acute angle of a right angle triangle is the opposite side, and the remaining side is called the adjacent side. So in a right angle triangle, the side opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse, and the side opposite to the selected acute angle is called opposite side, and the remaining one is adjacent side, and the ratio between any two sides of this right angle triangle is a trigonometrical ratio. So now here ABC is a right angle triangle. It is right angle at B, and A plus C is 90. So either A or C are individual acute angles. Now this acute angle we have taken as theta. Now the ratio between the opposite side, this is opposite, and this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse. The ratio between the opposite side and hypotenuse is denoted by sin theta. This is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. Here in our diagram, the opposite side is BC and hypotenuse AC. So the ratio between the opposite side and hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is sin theta. This is the first trigonometrical ratio. The second ratio, cos theta. Cos theta is completely known as cosine theta, or it is a co-function of sine. Cos theta is cosine theta. That means it is a co-function of sine theta. Now cos theta, it is the ratio between the adjacent side and hypotenuse of the right angle triangle. So here in our diagram, the adjacent side is AB and the hypotenuse is AC. So therefore sin theta is the ratio between opposite and hypotenuse. So therefore BC by AC. Cos theta, ratio between the adjacent and hypotenuse. Therefore it is AB by AC. And the ratio between sin theta and tan theta is called, sin theta and cos theta is called tan theta. The ratio between sin theta and cos theta is tan theta. Therefore tan theta equal to sin theta by cos theta. So sin theta, previously we have seen opposite by hypotenuse. And cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So hypotenuse gets cancelled. Therefore this is opposite side by adjacent side. This is BC by AB. Therefore sin theta is the ratio between the opposite side and hypotenuse. That means sin theta is BC by AC. And cos theta is the ratio between the adjacent and opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. That is AB by AC. And tan theta is the ratio between sin theta and cos theta. It is equal to opposite by adjacent. Now, originally, the two trigonometrical ratios are sin theta and cos theta, and the ratio between these two is tan theta. Now, reciprocals of these things, that means 1 by sin theta, 1 by cos theta, 1 by tan theta, they are cosecant, secant and cotangent. So cosecant theta is nothing but the reciprocal of sin theta. Therefore cosecant theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. Like that, secant theta, it is the reciprocal of cos theta, that is 1 by cos theta. So the reciprocal of sin 1 by sin is cosecant, and the reciprocal of cos is 1 by cos, it is secant theta. And the reciprocal of tan theta is called cotangent or cot theta. This is nothing but 1 by tan theta. And tan theta, we know that it is sin by cos. So therefore this is 1 by sin theta by cos theta. This is equal to cos theta by sin theta. So we have to remember carefully that sin theta opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta adjacent by hypotenuse, tan theta is sin theta by cos theta or opposite by adjacent. Cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sin. Secant theta is the reciprocal of cos. Cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta. Hence it is also equal to cos theta and cos theta by sin theta. So the first one what we have to remember very carefully are sin theta means opposite side by hypotenuse. Cos theta adjacent by hypotenuse. Tan theta is the ratio between sin theta by cos theta as well as opposite by adjacent, and cot theta is 1 by tan theta. This is also equal to cos theta by sin theta. And cosecant theta is the reciprocal of 1 by sin theta. And secant theta, it is 1 by cos theta. So sin theta is opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse, and tan theta is opposite by adjacent. It is also equal to sin theta by cos theta. And here the important thing which we have to observe is when tan theta and cos theta values are known, sin theta is nothing but tan theta into cos theta. So to solve the problems within a short time, we must alert about all these things also. First thing is tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. Hence from this sin theta is equal to tan theta into cos theta. Like that, cot theta is cos theta by sin theta. Therefore cos theta equal to sin into cot. It is also equal to 1 by tan. Cosecant is 1 by sin, secant is 1 by cos. Since cosecant is 1 by sin, if you bring sin onto this side, sin into cosecant is 1, or sin equal to 1 by cosecant. Therefore cosecant theta equal to 1 by sin theta. Sin theta equal to 1 by cosecant theta. Sin theta into cosecant theta equal to 1. These are all the things which we have to be very careful and use them properly. So cosecant is 1 by sin, and 1 by cosecant is sin. Sin into cosecant is 1. Like that. Secant is 1 by cos. So 1 by cos is secant. 1 by secant is cos. Cos into secant is 1. Cot 1 by tan. Tan into cot 1. Tan theta equal to 1 by cot. So therefore cosecant is 1 by sin. Sin is 1 by cosecant. Sin into cosecant is 1. Secant is 1 by cos. Cos is 1 by secant. Cos into secant is 1. And cot theta is 1 by tan. Therefore tan is 1 by cot. Tan into cot is 1. These things we must get into the habit of answering them quickly, and even if you close down your eyes, they must appear before your eyes. That is the thing. Before going to solve the problems, in trigonometrical ratios, we must be aware of some algebraic formulae. They are very important for trigonometrical, for solving problems of trigonometrical ratios. Number one, we are aware of this formula. A plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. Number two, a minus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. If we add both these two things, a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square, then these two things gets cancelled. A square plus a square becomes 2a square, b square plus b square 2b square. Therefore, the third one is a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square is equal to 2 into a square plus b square. Okay. The fourth one, if we subtract a minus b whole square from a plus b whole square. So this minus this. When we subtract a square gets cancelled, b square and b square gets cancelled. This becomes plus 2ab. Therefore, a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equal to 4ab. And if we subtract this from this, even then also these two things gets cancelled. This is minus 2ab and this also becomes minus. Therefore, a minus b whole square minus a plus b whole square is equal to minus 4ab. So this is a plus b whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab. A minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab. A plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square is 2 into a square plus b square. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is 4ab. And a minus b whole square minus a plus b whole square is minus 4ab. A plus b whole cube is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. A plus b whole cube equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. From this, if we keep a cube plus b cube on this side and this onto this side, a cube plus b cube can also be expressed as a plus b whole cube minus 3ab into a plus b. In future, this will be very much useful to solve the trigonometrical problems faster and accurate. So a plus b whole cube is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. So from that we have derived that a cube plus b cube is a plus b whole cube, and this goes that side minus 3ab into a plus b. This is more useful formula in future. Now a minus b whole cube is equal to a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b. A minus b whole cube equal to a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b. Now, if you look at this a plus b whole cube, this is a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square on expansion. And this on expansion, a cube minus b cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square. Okay. Now look here carefully. If we add these two, a plus b whole cube plus a minus b whole cube. These two things gets cancelled. These two things gets cancelled. We are left with a cube plus a cube, 2a cube and plus 3ab square and 3ab square is 6ab square. Therefore, a plus b whole cube plus a minus b whole cube is equal to a cube and a cube, 2a cube plus 6ab square. This is 2a into a square plus 3b square. So a plus b whole cube plus a minus b cube is equal to 2a into a square plus 3b square. This is very much useful in solving the problems of surds at higher level. That means problems in surds which we come across in EEE, AEEE, EAMCET, and also for IIT and all things. This will be sometimes very useful. So a plus b whole cube plus a minus b whole cube is 2a into a square plus 3b square. Now, if we subtract a minus b whole cube from a plus b whole cube, while subtracting these two things gets cancelled and these two things gets cancelled and we get 2b cube and this becomes plus. So therefore, it is 6a square b. Therefore, a plus b whole cube minus a minus b whole cube is equal to 2b cube plus 6a square b, and this is 2b into b square plus 3a square. So we just observe the similarity. When added, a plus b whole cube plus a minus b whole cube is 2a into a square plus 3b square. When subtracted, it is 2b into b square plus 3a square. Factors for a cube plus b cube. This is equal to, when plus is here, we start with a plus, and this is a square minus ab plus b square. Please be careful, this is, when this is plus here and here this is minus. So therefore, a cube plus b cube is a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square are the factors for a cube plus b cube. Number 2, a cube minus b cube is equal to, since minus is here, it starts with minus, and here we will get plus a square plus ab plus b square. And the factors for a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. And the factors for a power 4 minus b power 4 is a square plus b square into a square minus b square. Therefore, a cube plus b cube is a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. A cube minus b cube is equal to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. And a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. This is derived from this only, because this is a square whole square minus b square whole square. Hence, it is a square plus b square into a square minus b square. Whenever we get a power 4 minus b power 4, instead of converting this into a square whole square minus b square whole square and using this formula, if we get accustomed with this, the calculation will be faster and we will be saving some time. The next one, usually we don't get factors for a square plus b square, but a plus ib into a minus ib, this we will be learning very clearly in complex numbers in a chapter in trigonometry in higher studies. Here actually I is equal to root of minus 1 and I square is equal to minus 1. This is Euler's formula. Because he is the mathematician who introduced these symbols. So a square plus b square is equal to a plus ib into a minus ib. These factors are in complex numbers in higher studies. Now next one, a plus b plus c whole square. This is a square plus b square plus c square plus 2 into, first we will get these two ab plus 2 into product of this bc plus 2 into ca. Like this. If you say a minus b minus c whole square, squares always will be positive. When you multiply these two, you will get minus 2ab. When you multiply these two, you will get plus 2bc. And when you multiply these two, you will get minus 2ac. These are the algebraic formulae which we must know perfectly and use them properly in solving the problems of trigonometrical ratios. Initially, while going for the problems in trigonometrical ratios, the first type of problems will be depending upon some algebraic formulae. Okay,